back! They have won the Stanley Cup!
I think it's tough enough to win one. We've done two, so you might as well go for three, right?
Our time, baby, back to back. That's how we do it.
What do you think of this team?
Unbelievable. Nobody can beat us. Back to back years.
It's so much fun to be a part of. The crowd can have an effect on teams. The emotions get turned up.
And then last year, they gave Vezina to somebody else. Number one bullshit. Oh, number one bullshit.
I don't give a shit what people say about Florida and hockey, but this is the best hockey town ever.
Here it is for you guys. Enjoy.
Welcome to We the Thunder. That's right. The Lightning win again. 3 straight wins against your New York Rangers. And man, tonight was a nail biter. Tommy Schooley in the bush outside of the watch party. It's crazy there. People are honking their horns. They're honking their car
blowing
horns,
their boats,
boat horns, whatever horn they have. They are honking it because the Lightning are up 3-2, coming back to Amalie. Huge win tonight. 3-1, pulled it off again at the end. That's what we do. We don't like to play overtime. Again, I'm sitting here ready for overtime, and the boys don't want to play overtime. They're ready to win tonight. Sergachev, as I have behind me, you just see Guchev, but Sergachev, one of the heroes tonight. Vasi's my first star. I don't care what you say. We don't win this game without Vasi, but I don't think we win without Sergachev's shots tonight either. Want to hear from you guys. Hit like, hit share. Thomas Schooley, what's the scene? What's the scene at Amalie?
Oh, this fucking bush is growing between me coming. My space here is limited now. So they told us 5,000 was what they're expecting at the watch party tonight. It was amazing. It was loud. They tried doing the snake. Everybody was breaking it up in our section because we knew that was bad luck from the first 2 games. So that was a no-go on the snake. But on the way out, the chants "fuck the Rangers" was going on. We had some great chants inside. They are still honking the horns as all the cars are leaving. They are still honking their horns. The boats around in the harbor honking their horns. I can still hear the horn going for practice for Saturday in the arena. So, or we're still scoring. I don't know what's going on, but there's still horns going off everywhere in this place.
It's the guy that is supposed to run the goal horn at Amalie. He's just all right, I'll stop.
It's got a huge Stanley Cup feeling here. Like, it's very odd to, we have done this now twice when we have actually won the cup. We have been live right afterwards. But looking at all the traffic down here, looking at these cars down here, looking at the fans still going out, it's still amazing for a Game 5 watch party for the ECF against the Rangers. Gets 5,000 people, and they are celebrating like we just won the cup.
Not a hockey town.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing down here. And, they broke our back-to-back. They couldn't beat us back-to-back. Well, they couldn't get beaten at home, and guess what? We just did that. Now we bring it home Saturday to close it out the series.
Yeah,
crazy. Wow. They say It is the mustache.
Is it the mustache? Who
There's
knows?
Bo right there.
Listen,
Who knows? Call him over. Call him over. Stash
Who's over
from
here taking
the
pictures with
Stash
people?
Mansion up there. What was the vibe tonight?
I mean, I probably the same vibe as everybody else. I mean, I was confident. And okay, so we talk about the show a lot when it's just me at home watching with Mrs. Stash and the fam. Like usually we kind of record it. We watch it on a little bit of a delay just because there's like other
Horrible
things going
decision.
on. And I know, no, I do this all the time.
I know
It's just because of my
horrible.
nerves.
Who does
I gotta be able to fast forward through commercials. Like I can't listen, and especially intermission, dude. I can't sit through intermission. I gotta watch something else other than national intermission. So tonight, I had the confidence. I was like, no, I'm watching this whole game live. We didn't watch it. We didn't like delay it whatsoever. We watched it live the whole time. And really, my feeling was from the very beginning, it felt like a Lightning hockey game. You know, they came out, they did what we expected the Rangers to do. They played harder, way harder. They were finally playing the body. They were doing their thing. And the Lightning, it looked a little bit more like game one where the Lightning were playing much better, not even close as shitty as they played in the first two games. But they weren't quite getting the bounces. You know, and all I heard coming into this all day long is, oh, they're at the Garden. They're at the Garden. Oh, they're back at the Garden. It's like the Garden was going to magically win the game for them somehow. It's like some voodoo or something. You know what I mean? And, oh, now they've got the matchup.
8-2 there. Barely gave up any goals.
No, but then suddenly, the Lightning were playing still good hockey, but they weren't quite getting the bounces that they got the last couple games back at Amelie. So it kind of made it a much more even game than I think it probably should have been or could have been. And then let's not even mention the fact that how many posts or crossbars actually?
Was there more than 3? I got 3.
It was the first period, right? All 3 of them in the first period.
Nash was in the second.
Oh, second. That's right. Beginning of the second.
Nash's wasn't going in. The other ones were an inch or less away from going in. It could have been. It could have been 5-1 easily tonight.
Yeah, and it could have been a lot different tone of the game early on if both of those, that Kucherov and that one from Poly, went in.
But we also had Andre Vasilevsky, who is just on it. He's just on it. And I got to point out this Facebook user. I think this is Mark Zuckerberg. I might be wrong. We ended their 8-game win streak. By the way, comments.
That's Tom from MySpace, dude.
Yes, he won't even put his name on Facebook. He's so pissed still. All the people that are way younger than us are like, what are you talking about? All right, so do us a favor, like, share, go tell a friend to join. We're gonna do of course some giveaways. Hashtag Sergey, 2 goals tonight. His first, what did they say, 38 playoff games since he scored a goal.
Games.
And he was just when he shot it, the puck had eyes. The puck had eyes tonight when he shot it, and man, that was awesome to see, especially for Sergachev, who's one of those guys we piled on all season. I say we, this show. I say we, you guys. We all did. He turns over the puck a lot, but Sergachev's a dynamic player. He's 23 years old, and he was a hero tonight with those goals. And man, I love to see him shooting. And any of our defenders, if they got that shot where they think they can thread the needle, they think they can get it through at least that first defender and not get it blocked, take that shot. That's how you beat goalies like this. They didn't see that first goal at all.
Yeah, they finally did give that second goal. Clint and Serena both here in the chat saying
they deflected it.
They finally did give it to him off the knee. And it looked like from the one angle it looked like it, and the first angle it looked like it didn't. But like the other one angle it looked like it went right off the top of his knee. Regardless,
3 games in a row now for him.
Yeah,
3 games in a row.
Of course, Platt's going to score.
Yep.
Right. Well, and that's the game winner too, right?
Yep.
Oh no, that was the third one. No,
that was number 2. Yeah.
There we go. So that's a game-winning goal.
We're going to get muted if we play this song any longer.
Isn't that 17? No, he's got 17. No, 11 because it was 10, right? Yeah. So anyways, 11.
So hashtag Sergey. Smack Apparel short. We got Pucks and Pizza. We'll see. Chris is probably going to be in here eventually. Yeah. He serves up those pizzas. So free puck and pizza or free puck pizza, and then of course Malectronic speaker. Best calls. Let me connect my phone real quick. We'll put the number up there. Best comments. We want to see in the comments your 3 stars of the game. We want to hear whatever you guys got to say.
Oh, there's Chris now.
There he is.
Present and accounted for.
Present.
Pucks and Pizza, Tampa Road. Check it out.
In Odessa, yeah.
All right, so tonight
I'm going to go there soon next week, probably.
You had Heidel and Strome back in playing injured, but they put him in anyway.
They both look pretty good.
Yeah, they seemed fine, right?
Yeah, they seem pretty good.
The surprise scratch was Reeves.
Yeah.
And somebody, I did a thing on Twitter earlier. You guys didn't show up, but that's okay. And we were talking about, that's when I found out that Reeves was going to be scratched. And I forget who it was. Sorry if you're watching. Asked about that and told me, and asked if I was surprised. And I wasn't surprised at all, because how many times have we seen a Simmons or players previous years that were kind of like, there's not goons anymore. These guys can score goals, but the enforcer type start the series, try to, enforce their will on the Lightning. And guess what? You can't bully the bully. You can't bully the bully, and you can't get penalties against us. You don't want to get penalties, and I'm sure that's why he was a scratch, because as far as we know, he was a healthy scratch. They didn't put him on any type of injury report. So a little bit of a surprise there. Were you guys surprised by that? Because like I said, I was not. I was expecting that more than anything else.
Reeves being out, you mean?
Yeah.
No,
I was shocked.
I wasn't shocked, but I mean, I thought what I saw one of the takes on NHL Network was talking about how maybe it was just kind of insurance in case Heidel and Strome weren't 100%, and he was like a little bit more of an option for them to be a little bit more, quicker and whatever, like a two-way kind of guy in case one of those guys was injured. So
makes sense,
because New York.
That's the way I kind of took it that way too, and because I was like, man, I mean, I was like you. Reeves doesn't really do much anymore. I don't even like people talk about him. I'm like, I don't know how much of an impact he's really having in this day and age on the blue line. And then if he doesn't have like some kind of like special teams impact, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Like, so I wasn't too surprised by that. When I was really surprised at how well they looked, or how good they looked, both of those guys coming back, because it was like a last minute, like they announced it like less than an hour before the game, like maybe an hour and 30 minutes before the game, that they were both going to be in. So I was surprised that they looked that good. I would have to say that they probably knew all day that they were going to be playing, and they just waited till last second. A little bit of gamesmanship there. But yeah, I mean, that made a big difference, I think, for them. I think this game was a lot more even because those two guys were in and they were able to roll their regular four lines. That made a big difference. And I will say, I think they're lucky that they were in MSG, because I think if it's in Tampa, you see that fourth line get a little bit more time, because they were playing really good in the offensive zone, but because of matchups, Coop just couldn't get them out there. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out coming back for game 6 back here. But once again, first period, very tight between both teams. There were some chances. They were playing very physical. The Lightning, I see, Killer, there were some plays that maybe he didn't do. Cerny as well. Cernak had a couple of really weak clears. And if you really want to talk about those clears, we can go to the second period after all those posts and a couple of good saves. There's that kind of just wing it around the boards by Bogosian, and that led to the play from Lindgren that opened the scoring, not for only the Rangers, but the whole game. First goal of the game. Really fluky goal. Maybe the puck size hole for it to actually make it in. Vasi's there. Cut him off guard, but he got over there. And there you go. That opens the score off of a really lazy play from Bogosian there. All he has to do is really skate
somebody
it.
should have been there. That's where somebody's supposed to be. That's how you clear it out.
Changing off of the forecheck too. So I mean, like he looked and saw, and then he's like, all he had to do was kind of pinch it in a little bit there, hold it up, and then try and play it back up the boards when he got support. But anyways,
I'm not blaming Bogo on that. I mean, how many times do you see someone score from that spot? It went off Stamkos.
It's still a turnover in your own
was
zone
not
there.
Ready.
In the playoffs, man. It's playoffs, man. Maybe in the regular season you can excuse him making in the playoffs, man, you got to maintain that puck. That's what they do. So, I mean, that's my take on it. If you don't want to blame Bogo, it's still a seeing eye shot, no matter what. Like that's a 1 in 1,000 after 3 posts already in the game. Because that was after the Nash post. So there's already 3 posts for the Lightning, and they come in and score there. So not too long after that, though, we see the Lightning really respond physically, and they started playing a lot better after that, too, I thought. What do you guys think?
They talked about the blocker side again, but they tried the blocker side for 3/4 of the game, and they didn't talk about all those saves Vassy started getting on that blocker side. I was like, you guys are going to point out the one goal they got was on the blocker side, but how about some of those amazing saves that were blank right on front of him, straight on? They did some from the blue line. We talked about. And we talked about how the matchups Coop wasn't going to get the matchups we wanted with against the kid line. And I thought that was how Sergachev scored. I mean, you weren't getting scoring from those big guys because I thought the matchups were pretty good. One of my friends who is a Rangers fan messaged me and said, "Who do you think wins the game?" I said, and this was early in the third, I said, I think the Rangers took the first period. I thought it was pretty even the second period, but I said the Lightning came out on that third period, and I thought they had the tilt going into the third. And then it started getting sloppy. Yeah, and then it started getting a little sloppy for the Lightning when McDonough went off. And then McDonough comes back, and he looked pissed off. And all of a sudden, they woke up, and here goes goal after goal.
Well, that is when it changed. When McDonough came off, New York took over the game, and it was looking bad. It got to the point when I tweeted it out. It got to the point where I was like, "Take a timeout. Take a time out.
I
like
did see
stop."
See,
because they were rolling, and what happened was,
if you're not going to take it there, then why didn't you take it earlier on when they had the power play and they had to leave those 5 guys on the ice because Stamkos, Kucherov, and Palat were just out there? You know what I mean? I know it was like early in the second period, but I think I would have taken my time out there because Coop usually does use a timeout anyways. You know what I mean?
They never use it, and
I would have used it right before that power
in a situation like that.
So if you're not going to use it later, then why not then?
If they give up,
you got to. I think you should use that timeout almost every game. Really.
No, they seem to always save it for let's our guys got just in case we need icing or something, like something for the end of the game. But man, at that maybe it was 5-minute mark, maybe it was a little bit earlier in the game than that. They had this TV timeout, and I think that's when McDonough came back. And after that, the Lightning had a little bit more pep in their step. So I don't know if the TV timeout was just at a timely period, but holy cow, I think that really, really saved them because then it led to the Sergachev
McDonough not only just comes back to the bench, he goes straight to the ice. And when they come back from that commercial break, there's McDonough's face looking mean as hell, getting ready for the face-off, and I'm like, oh shit.
Well, what happened to him? I missed
I'm sure it wasn't a stick from Fox there. It was a stick from Fox to the face. Yeah. I saw it pretty clearly when it happened.
Yeah, I missed that for some reason, but I heard that he had gauze, so I was like, all right, gauze means he got cut.
Yeah.
Good. So. All right, so he came back, and the rest was history. Man, the Lightning have this playoffs where they like scoring. I know it was like a little bit over minute 30 or something, maybe a little bit more. We like those last minute goals. Third period.
Yeah. They don't want overtime. They remember that. They remember that 8 overtime 2 playoffs ago, and they said nope.
Well, they love third period goals in general right now. Yeah, and that's what I'm a fan of.
It's that second period that usually bites them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that they played so tight and even in the second period, I think is what really helped them lay that foundation to come out and play their style of hockey in the third. And I think they really did. You got to credit New York. They're a good team. And I think they were tired, and I don't think they were really ready to get out there and play their brand in our building, and I don't think they're ready for the energy that they were going to get. No matter what, people underestimate our building all the time, I think, especially in the playoffs. So they certainly seem like it today on the NHL Network because they set up right there across the street from MSG. It was good to see some of our guys there, though. Joe Smith was on the broadcast for all of 3 minutes, and then Dave Randorf was on for 2.5, 3 minutes. And then the rest of it was all Rangers for fucking 4 hours straight. And then it was amazing. It was just beautiful to watch. Nothing but I'll get Bissonette on it, right? The balls of the Rangers, and that what is the greatest arena on earth. Yeah. Well, how good did that do you tonight? Because your fans left with 58 seconds to go in the game. I'll tell you right
Can
now.
you do that? Can you do that
My
some more,
team-
Stash? I'm taking my pants down behind this bush right now.
Well, you're in the wrong park down there for that, son. Not that I would know. I'm just saying that's not the right stuff. Well, DJ is asking where the tank top is. Well, tonight I had to rep the personally made turn up the dial, because right now I feel like they come home with the dial right there, just about a 10. I mean, especially with Stamkos at the end. I'll give him an 11, actually. With Stamkos going and chucking nucks, like his life depended on it there, man. Like, he was trying to murder that guy. It was amazing. Like, Stamkos he was ready to go.
You gotta love Twitter.
You
Here
gotta
you go.
love it, dude. No, come on, let's do it.
Here you go.
So yeah,
the watch party. That's too funny. They should let her watch from the penalty box. No, she's on the bench.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. But yeah, I mean, we shut him up. We shut up that arena. I can't wait tomorrow to turn it on and listen to Jackie Redmond have to physically get ill because she's gonna have to say something nice about the Lightning. At least one thing this time. She can't really, because the Rangers didn't play good this time. There's no excuse when they lost this game. There's no excuse.
They played their game. They played their game. We weren't able to get those matchups. The stuff we were talking about the other night. We weren't able to get those matchups.
Yeah.
They were able to get speed. They just play better at home, and they did tonight. And, there's I got Sergachev on the board. I said Vasi's my number one star. There was a little stretch there in the third period, more towards the beginning of the third period, where Vasi had almost 3 consecutive saves. 2 were consecutive. So you guys probably remember this. Fox makes a nice move, gives himself some space, has a grade A opportunity, puts it where all these guys talk about now, where you can score on Vasi, which, by the way, you're not always going to score on Vasi there because he stopped it, Fox. And then the rebound banks around, and then Lindgren is somehow there, who also plays defense. They're really pushing up at this point. And Vasi gets a pad on the rebound as he's, of course, sprawled out, big cat style. A minute later, bad turnover. We were turning over the puck a lot in the third period. And it was Rooney. Thank God it wasn't one of their skill players, really, who snapped it, and glove save by Vasi. Those were just 3 clutch saves this game. We would not win this game without the big cat in net. But how many times have we said that?
All the time. All the time. Especially games like this.
For 2 years.
Oh, this was funny, though. Yeah. That was what Ferraro. No, that was McDonough. Monahan. I was like, oh, he's turning into Bobby Orr right in front of our eyes. I'm like, calm down, bro. Like, where's that about Sergachev when he scored his second goal? You know what I mean?
Sergachev then.
Yeah. Right. Shit, dude. But I mean, it is what it is, man. They were just loving the fact that this game was, a weeknight game there in the Big Apple, and they were able to set up there. They had King Henrik, they had Gates, they had just a parade of New York Rangers alumni, fans, Ranger slanted media types. They had Dan Rosen on there, which is standing right next to EJ Radic, which is pretty funny. If you watch the network at all, they don't really like each other that much. It's like as close of a thing as hockey gets to Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith or whatever. But and Dan Rosen, is a local guy, so he used to be around here, so he's kind of a Lightning fan. But even he wasn't super homer. But Joe Smith definitely shut him down because they were talking about matchups and line, and he was like, yeah, well, it's not really that big of a deal. They can pretty much match up and down this lineup. It's worked in their favor down in Tampa, but it's not like it's a bit as big of a deal as you're making it out to be. And they were like, oh yeah, you're probably it was pretty funny. He kind of shut him down, but yeah, it was just a love fest.
I thought you said you don't watch this bullshit intermission stuff.
No, this is pregame. This is all the pregame.
Oh, pregame's cool. Intermission, Stash takes.
I fast forward through all of it, bro, because it's just
ridiculous way to watch hockey. You do you.
No, but I watched the beginning of it because then they just start regurgitating it all. You know what I mean? It's just the same thing over and over. You only have 3 points you can make, but you're making the same 3 points over and over, and this person's saying it, and this person's saying it, and you can only watch so much of it. But they, like I said, they do talk about the Bolts, and there's a few guys on there, ex-players that he's like they didn't really think they were going to get it done. So,
What was that?
Plus, it fuels my fire a little bit. I got to watch a little bit of the haters to help fuel my fire. So whenever we win, and I get to watch tomorrow, and they get to all be super sad, they're all super confident and super smiley tonight. And tomorrow, they are going to be super sad. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? We talked about 3 posts, two big ones in the first. And by the way, we only had 3 shots in the first period. What else? We pretty much covered the entire game, except the end. Final horn sounds, fisticuffs.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, we're gonna skip that one.
It's Stamkos, and who was he? Oh, there goes everyone's eardrums. Who was Stamkos? Who was going after Stamkos? I didn't catch who it was.
It's Lindgren.
Of course, the guy who's always hurt and
Lingerer.
Yeah, he's always hurt, but he's dropping the gloves with Stammer.
Lingerers.
And by the way, Stamkos won that fight.
Oh, for sure. And then Carlene here in the chat talking about what we all know already from watching the Islanders the last 2 years. Jimmy Fallon is not a real fan of any hockey team. He just wears whatever jersey someone pays him to wear.
And you know who else they kept showing, who I don't think is a Rangers fan, was the guy from Saturday Night Live. He has a house in Tampa.
Thompson. Well,
it was not Lingard, it's Lafreniere.
Oh, Lafreniere. That's right. The other L guy.
Oh, yeah. First
Lafreniere.
round picks going at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
teach that kid a lesson.
The other day, they had Keenan Thompson on the point with Buccigrass and those guys, and they asked them, hey, because I don't think they realized that he lives here and that he was on come on, the Killer
Saturday
Show.
Night Live?
Killer Show.
Doc Talk.
Oh, that's right. He was.
He was on Doc Talk, and then he also was on like Tonight Show down here with the Lightning guys. But anyways, so they asked him like, oh, what do you think? Well, it's like, I'm kind of torn because the Lightning, but because I know I'm up there and I'm do Saturday Night Live, but I have a house in Tampa. I live in Tampa, and like they basically forced him to only talk about the Rangers. Like, oh yeah, but okay. Well, but what about the Rangers though? Like, what do you think? He's like, well, like no, but okay, but the Rangers though. He's like, well, he was definitely trying to not like pick the Rangers.
He wasn't putting on that blue shirt.
Definitely wearing that
giveaway.
Neutral suit.
Which, by the way, I know we've played in way more playoff games than they have in the last few years. Right. But can we get some shirts at Amelie? Like,
we've had.
I've got enough
the
clappers.
Same one. We've had the same T-shirts the last 3 years. It's the I Heart Bolts one.
That one sucks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, I heard new gear. Come on.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's
go, Amelie. Come on.
Get on it, Amelie.
I thought really this was the play of the game.
Oh, the Strome. Yeah.
Strome missing his shot.
Yeah. And I still think the ice was bad. I mentioned it after game 2. You saw both teams skating past the puck. Still people falling down. And then when the puck was going, it was rolling. And that's why I was just looking at Twitter to see what the Rangers fans are complaining about.
It's refs. Guarantee you it's refs. They had one power play.
Some of it was refs. The funny thing is that first power play we got, it was actually an offsides play. Had we scored, it would have been offsides. But you can't replay for a penalty. You can't review it. So it would have been best if they just let a dang puck go in the net, and then they would have got that it was offsides.
Hey, actually, I want to ask you guys about the power play tonight because we had 0 for 2. One was kind of whacked because the main guys were the second one. The main guys were just on the ice, so it was like flipped. They had the second line come out, which actually didn't do that bad.
Sergachev was really leading that first one.
Let him do it. Let the man play. Let him shoot the puck. But the first one, man, I felt like they just kept feeding it to Perry in the middle, and I realized our power play. They take what the other team gives, right? If Stammer's there, which he's usually not, they're going to try to force it to Cooch, or sometimes Hetty will shoot. I wish he would shoot more, but they were trying to get it into Perry. I think that was on purpose. They were giving Perry a little bit more wiggle room, but man, I wish our big guns were shooting it from that umbrella up top because Corey Perry was in point spot, but Corey Perry is not Braden Point. So
I thought they were skating the puck and they were trying to get too close on Shesterkin all night. Like Sorelli had, I think, at least 2 times where he skated the puck and had an opportunity to kind of make a play, like right as they entered the zone, took it too late, and then like tried to skate in and make a move like right by the crease. And then Paul made a similar play. It's at least 3 or 4 times they made the same play. And I thought that like exactly what happened when they finally scored, they needed to get that puck up high and kind of get it almost on a bit of like a set play screen kind of situation. And I think that was a big thing for them, is to kind of stop getting it so low, get the puck out high, get bodies in front of the net, but get the puck towards the net from the blue line with guys in between. And clearly we saw how that worked out for both of those goals that came off the Sergei stick initially. One, of course, the second one was for Pally, but
here's a good reminder. Comment, first period, Maroon did take one right to the net, got denied, and then Belly had a rebound from that go right to him, and he airmailed it right over the net. So yeah,
that was that line
chances by that fourth line again.
And like I said, if they would have had their matchup, I think you would have seen a lot more of that line tonight, because they seem to be the line that had really the most juice. So yeah, and that's what you like to see coming back to our town now, It's
first
all
game
said
in a
and
while,
done.
Wes wasn't handing us penalties left and right from Debbie. They weren't calling penalties tonight. There's 3 penalties the whole game, and that's what the Rangers fans are going to complain about. This is what happens, and usually you see it happen later in playoff series. We're in game 5 now, so we're there. We're later in the series. I hate it. I wish there was consistency throughout the playoffs. I mean, remember Toronto? There was penalties. There was 15 penalties a game.
In the first 3 games, and then suddenly there was like less and less, and like the last 2 games, there was like I think 5 total in the last 2 games, something. But it was crazy. But yeah, you're right.
Throughout the playoffs, that seems to be like how it goes. You have all these penalties, and now we're down to 3 a game, and I don't know if we'll get more from that the rest of the way. So Amelie Arena Saturday night, right?
Representative from the arena just came out and wanted to make sure I wasn't hacking the building.
Yes, Thomas
my little
hacker
with my little laptop here.
What?
So.
Okay.
No, he didn't ask if you're a hacker in the bushes. He said, "Are you a whacker in the bushes?"
Oh, in that case, yes, sir, I am.
Are you kidding me?
He's like, I'm just making sure you're not trying to hack into my building. I'm like,
has he not seen you by the bush before? Is this the first time? 3 years doing this?
Right.
Like,
my first playoff game.
It's like, what the hell?
All right, so we are going to give some stuff away here. So definitely. I'm not even going to open up the phone lines, actually. So best comments tonight, hashtag Sergey. If you want to win that Smack Apparel shirt, we already got 25 entries in there. So we'll do that pretty soon. And then we're going to pick some really good comments from the chat tonight. But hey, if you're new to this show, welcome. This is kind of what you get. But guess what? After the Lightning clinch a playoff series, we do a toast with everyone. So don't forget that on Saturday night. You better keep that champagne, that Diet Coke, that water, that bourbon, whatever it is you're drinking on ice on Saturday night, because when the Bolts win a playoff series, we toast, and we're going to have at least 2 chances to do that. And I don't know, man. I think the Rangers, well, let's hold the horses here. The Rangers, when facing elimination on the road, have won 2 games, and that's the only 2 games they've won on the road.
That's true.
So something's got to give again. But isn't that how it always goes in the playoffs?
That's how it has the series, the back-to-back losses, and then losing at MSG. So it might as well stop another one.
Here's another thing to think about. How many times has the core players of this team been in this spot, up 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and lost those final 2 games?
Yeah. It's happened. So
It's
This
happened.
is a different team. This is
But now I think that's what makes this team is it's happened, and they know that you can't let this opportunity Saturday night at home slip away. There's no taking off a game. There's no taking off a shift.
Well, and now
I'm expecting a win.
Right, and Tropical Hockey watching from YouTube, Tropical Hockey TB. Bassey has 6 shutouts. Want to keep that fight going? I mean, sure, he gave up the one in the Toronto series, but he still shut him out in Florida. So like we're back on that streak. You want Bassey at home in an elimination game?
Well, and listen, you don't think the Lightning's gonna ride the high that they had from winning this game in the last seconds? The one goal given up by Bassey, and then the fight from Stamkos at the end. That was the last thing that they saw on MSG ice was that, and they don't want to go back to MSG.
But Ric Flair's waiting on the plane right now.
Yeah.
Fucking limousine ride and jet plane flying. Ric Flair is on the plane with bottles of champagne for him to drink. Obviously, the boys could be getting drunk. It's only 2 days, but I'm just saying he's waiting. Ric Flair is going to take them all.
Is this your first time meeting hockey players?
On you, we're going to see Ric Flair taking the boys around the world if they go 3-peat. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
The first 4 words, let me count real quick. The first 5 words out of Stamkos' mouth during his interview today, it's defend till the end.
Yeah. You got to play the last second, dude. And that's what Fox is a little bitch, dude. Fox is a little bitch. And that's what happened at the end. Fox is a little bitch. They're going to mail it in. I'm sorry. Kucherov is down there, and he's going to try and make a play to the very last second until the horn is called. Did it go off an ankle? Sorry, dude. You're a hockey player. Sorry. They took a shot. There was in the second, I think it was the second period, where the whistle blew for an offsides. There's a clear offsides. Everyone heard it, and they still shot the puck on Bassey. And no one went and punched that dude. I don't remember who it was, but because they just.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, what the hell? Why?
Who the fuck just did that? And who let them get away with that? But you know what I love about it? Wait till the end of the game. You wait till the end, bud. You wait till the end to make a
the captain's going to kick someone's ass tonight.
The captain's going to come and kick some ass, bud. He's going to throw some rights. He's going to throw some lefts. He's going to take you to the ground. He's still going to keep punching you in the face when he's on the ground. He's going to throw haymakers, just like Hagel. You know what I'm talking about? You see Hags doing that in the last game.
Hey, and he scored a goal. He scored a goal.
He finally
empty
got
netter.
Hey, how many times in the history of hockey has an empty netter
kickstarted
the scoring streak? How many times? It's probably the biggest cliche in hockey, except for the 2-goal lead is the most dangerous goal in hockey.
And they also talked about how many he had scored with Chicago before he got tonight. They talked about he scored 21 with Chicago, but then hadn't made it here in Tampa. He wasn't a scorer, but Cooper said he's more of a defender in our system than he is a scorer.
That's what we said last show. Hey, stop, because we got a caller here who's just sitting here waiting for us to shut
I heard breathing. I was like, who is
it? I said no callers. He called anyway. Who is this? Where are you at?
Anthony James.
Buck Thorgan for Tampa, Florida.
You're not winning anything this time, buddies. but I bet you enjoyed that game.
Yes, it was. It was amazing. I loved the game, start to finish.
Absolutely, especially the last 2 minutes for me.
Yeah, I had a feeling we were going to win this game a long time. I had a feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would you say are your 3 stars of the game?
Bassey, of course. Bassey, and I don't know another one. It could be tossed up the other 2.
I think you said the most.
What do you think?
I think you said the most important.
Bassey.
Bassey keeping goals out, only allowing 1 goal.
Hey guys, this makes this interesting. Burning Point comes back for game 6 and finish them off.
I don't think Braden Point is going to play unless they are facing elimination. And some people think Braden Point's not going to play at all the entire playoffs.
Rumor has it.
But look at this. But I heard John Cooper said was it last night or this morning? It was a surprise. I thought he was going to play when they said surprise.
Well, he's been completely non-committal, but you got to remember, John Cooper is a lawyer.
Right.
That's
remember
how this guy's going to talk. He used to be a lawyer.
Do you remember when Stammer
really?
was hurt in the bubble? It was he's might be back. He might be back, and then last minute, oh, he's out tonight. He's not playing tonight.
Yeah.
So
Like years and a half. Yeah.
I didn't know he was lower too. Wow, he's good.
Oh,
yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
I mean, guy's pretty talented, right?
Absolutely.
I think he'd win a Coach of the Year award by now.
You would think.
Yeah.
One would think.
I didn't know he was a lower though.
Oh yeah.
All right. So are you gonna go? Are you gonna go to the game on Saturday night at Amelie?
I don't know.
All right. Well, if
Maybe.
you get tickets, get me tickets
Are
too.
you guys going?
You get tickets, get me tickets too.
I
okay?
will be there.
Thomas
They're
would be there.
too expensive.
Yeah, I
Hey,
feel you, bro.
they're not cheap, but I'll tell you what. In New York, I think the cheapest ticket, if you were looking yesterday, was about $1,000.
Yeah.
So I would expect ours to be probably right around probably under 500.
Cheaper.
Yeah, by far.
Probably under 500 for
Yeah.
to get in
Yeah.
even first level.
But I
right?
heard it sold out. I heard this sold out already.
Oh, it's sold out
Bro,
for
it's
sure.
sold
But
out.
there's plenty of people that are going to be selling tickets, and I'd rather have some Bolts fans buying those over some Rangers fans. But I bet you have way less
Yeah.
people coming down from New York to watch this game 6. You're going to have some diehards that are going to spend the money.
Hey guys, most of the people who live in New York, most people here in Tampa, Florida, they're New York people. Most of the people from New York, they're already here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
All right,
here's
but
a little.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, man. We got to let you go. We'll open up the
Okay.
phone line for someone else, even though I said no calls. You broke the cherry.
My bad.
You broke the chair. I was trying to end the show early, get myself a little relaxation, a little rest tonight, so I'm ready for game 6.
Game 6, that's it. We have a shutout. Game 6, that's the shutout.
We're calling the shutout. Hey, I'm not betting against that. I've seen the guy play in elimination games. I'm not betting against that. So thank you for your call, man. We appreciate you.
brother.
You too, bro. Peace.
All right. See you.
Here's a little thing also for you guys that don't have tickets and still trying to get tickets. Last home game, about an hour and a half before the door. No, it was probably about 2 hours before game time. They did standing room only tickets. So you had to line up outside the box office, and then they opened the doors up. I think it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Stash and I camp at the box office with the chance that they might do that.
2004 style.
I'll push my bush over there for you.
There you go.
I'll
Peter
save a
Mann.
spot.
We'll travel.
Yeah.
Robbie's saying cheapest ticket right now on Ticketmaster is $268, and is that with the extra Ticketmaster charges, or is that without? Because with the Ticketmaster charges, that's over 300.
400.
I think standing room tickets were like 125. I think maybe 100. I don't know how
I
much
can handle
they were.
125 all in. I could handle that.
Yeah, I
Plus,
think
you don't
that's
have that
what they
many
were.
fees because it's you're right there. You don't have Ticketmaster fees because you're at the box.
Right.
We got another caller here. Who is this, and where are you at?
Jesse, Largo, Florida.
Oh, I know who this is.
The Largo in the house.
Took
It's
a
probably
break from fishing to watch a hockey game.
The only person in Largo I haven't busted shoplifting.
Yet.
Yet. I
That's
watched the fishing equipment just for him.
Jesse, you
What's
said you
up,
called the
brother?
score, right?
I had to call just because 10 hours ago when I was at work, I messaged you guys and said we're going to win 3-1, and somehow we won 3-1.
Yes, you did. That's facts.
You did.
So I was stoked. I about passed out when Sergachev shot that puck, and I think that second goal was plot, but that was nuts, freaking nuts. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Three
You
to
deserve the victory lap. So good job calling in. You deserve it. Victory lap.
So I know you guys are wanting to get off the air, so I just want to call in and say let's go Bulls. Let's close this shit out in game 6.
Got any brilliant predictions for game 6?
Boom. Let's hear it.
Honestly, I think it's gonna probably be a close. It's either gonna be a very close game, or this game literally just destroys their mentality, and we're gonna blow them out.
How
I'm gonna say
nice would that be?
I'm gonna say 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
So a lot
Yeah.
of people talking.
We're all trying to hit the
talking
same
shutout.
one. It's funny because I was thinking at the same time Anthony was posting it. I was
I know.
thinking,
I'm so
I want to
glad
get
that
off
Jesse finished.
too.
I'm so glad Jesse finished that sentence because I thought you were going to stop it. I know you guys want to get off the air.
I'll let you guys go.
All right, man.
He's got someone else beeping
Take
in.
care.
Who else is beeping in? Stop calling us, people.
The hotline's hot tonight.
Hold on. I think I know who this is. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Hottest line in town.
Is this James?
It is.
Oh, where have you been? Well, I don't think we heard from you since last playoffs.
Actually, yeah. So I've been watching. I live in a different state now, which is a little bit more difficult. So Bolts Nation up here in Tennessee now, which is a lot of fun. But actually,
we had a lot of Bolts Nation up there.
Yeah, we brought Bolts Nation there earlier this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually was there at the Stadium Series. It was fun. It was a really fun game in Nashville. We were there.
Yeah, you didn't come to the meetup, did you?
No, we didn't. No,
calling
because
people out,
I
bro.
had to work that day, and we literally drove from Murfreesboro. Yeah, I know.
That's all right.
I know.
We know you.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee to Nashville, which is like a 40-minute ride, and I did it in like 20 minutes because I was speeding. So we made it happen though. But yeah, man, it's great to talk with you guys, man. I watch the shows. I love that stuff, and I would comment on Facebook, but apparently I'm in Facebook jail, so don't even know how that happened. But anyway,
aren't we all?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I'm not going to take much of your time. I know y'all are trying to get off, but I really appreciate you taking the call anyway. But no, this was fun, man. It was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous as all get out today just watching this, but I love the fire. I love the passion. You know, it really could have been 5-1. Kucherov hit a shot off the top of the post, which just absolutely beat him, and just a quarter inch lower, that's a goal. And then Paul had one not that far later. Really could have made this a blowout tonight potentially, but 3-1's a great way to close it out in New York and do something that not a lot of teams have done in this playoffs, and that's beat the Rangers at home, and that's huge, absolutely huge.
Statement win. Like I said, coming on the air, I think it was an opportunity for both teams to make a statement here, and I think the statement that was made is really this Rangers team is good. They're a great, talented young team, but they're still up and coming. They don't still quite have it yet. I just think in this day and age, you really kind of got to go through it to be able to finally get to the mountaintop, because the parity is so real. So like to see, what the Lightning have had to do. We talked about earlier. They won 3 in a row, and then boom, they lost 2 to the Caps, and they've done it a couple times. So then they come back, got swept. But now they know how to finish. Now this is a different team, and they're the ones that came and made the statement tonight. They maybe not played 100% their best hockey, but this was their kind of game. The longer this went at 0-0, and then 1-1, as soon as when Sergei came back and scored, like I wasn't ever worried, but even up until he scored, because it was such a tight game. I was annoyed at how they scored that goal, but I wasn't really, I wasn't giving up on the team like lots. I was like, man, it's hard sometimes because you get so emotionally invested. I wasn't really nervous at all through this whole game. So how are you feeling?
No, I wasn't nervous per se about the game. I think for me, the nerves kind of went away after. Well, and I know it's going to sound weird to say, but after game 2, because that third period of game 2 was really the first time that we started playing well and we started getting our groove back. And I, going into this series, I was like, 9 days rest. Yeah, it's good or it's bad. And each team responds differently. Like the Avalanche are going to the final, and they've swept 2 in a row at this point. So they're waiting. So it'll be interesting to see, even if it's, whoever comes out of this series, which I still believe it's going to be the Lightning. And just because I think the momentum is just too much right now. But the rest really hurt us until that third period in game 2. And since that point for me, I haven't had any nerves because I knew this team would bounce back. They're too good not to. But I think it's a lot of, in the Toronto series, we struggled, and that helped us out to win that series. Florida was kind of the iffy one because it was just kind of a rout, and I can't believe that they had no chance in that series really from the first puck drop to the end of the series.
Yeah.
But this one, you go down to New York, who just came in red hot, who beat a Penguins team that a lot of people had going to the conference final. I mean, a lot of people had Pittsburgh going to the conference final. And they beat them and took care of business. And then, you win the next series, take care of business. So the Rangers are not out of this. I still believe the Lightning are going to win this series. I said the series was going to go the distance. I hope that's not the case. I'd rather them win Game 6 and just be done with it. But this is a Rangers team that when their backs have been against the wall the last two series, they've responded. So it's really going to be key in this Game 6 for Vazzy to continue to play at the level he is, which he's the best goalie in the NHL. There's no argument to that, in my opinion. There's none. I mean, Shesterkin's been great, but Vazzy is next level when it comes to closing out games.
Tonight probably could have easily been a shutout. Like we talked about, that goal was such a fluky kind of goal, and then he probably could have got a shutout in Game 4.
Yeah,
probably
he should have, except for a silly penalty from Killer that gave him a 6-on-4 chance. So, yeah.
You know what we forget? Can I throw this on the screen for a second?
Yeah.
Good tweet here from Unfortunate Hockey, HKY.
Yeah, right here.
Down 2-0. Game 3, down 2-0 in the series, halfway through that game.
Yes.
Sure, we had a power play, but
that's
the heart of a champion. That's why I have the heart.
Exactly.
That's why I have the heart. Let me put this.
Boom. Heart of the champion.
That's why Sergachev has a heart. You can't see it. It says in blue right in there. It says champion, because this team has the heart of a champion. And there's been so many kind of turning points in a lot of these series. And, you could even, like you said, in that Game 2, you saw them start to kind of turn that dial up, as we like to say. And they turned that dial up full blast when they came back in that Game 3 and have not looked back since. And I mean, I don't want to say this because people are going to pile on me, but I think you got to win it. I think Game 6 is a must win. Don't let them, you don't go back to Madison Square Garden. Win that Game 6 at home, because you don't want to give the Rangers that chance to have another fluky goal and play some lockdown defense.
Well, here's one other thing too, just real quick. I think if you want to, people don't shoot me, just message whatever. I'm look ahead, but if you really want to say we got to win the series, then you got to think we're going to play the Avalanche. I think at this point you want to play them as soon as possible, because they're already probably going to be. They've already had enough days off that they're going to have a little bit of a rust factor, right? Like the Lightning saw, but you don't want to give them the opportunity to have Kaji and have I always forget his name. No, the other guy. They both had finger surgeries.
McKinnon?
So, not McKinnon. It's the other Kakaniemi or whatever. No. Anyways, I can't remember. Anyways, but I don't want to pain myself out watching. But there's two guys that have finger surgeries that they're trying to recover from. So like, you don't want to give them enough time to recover 100%, but they've had enough time for them. Well, Kemper's also, he already was on the bench, but there's one of their forwards, Cogliano. It's Cogliano. Sorry. That's who it was.
I think he's out. I think he's out for the rest.
But he had this finger surgery, so they both had him. So they're talking about being able to come back for the next round. So, anyways, you don't want to give them too much rest to get healthy. You know what I'm saying? You got to find that line. So I think the Lightning, and you want to keep playing too. You don't want extra days off because there's 2 days between 6 and 7. You know what I mean? I think you just come home, take care of business, keep playing the hockey they have. And if they get out like they have in the first period of the last 2 games, I think you break their will. What was it, 2 seasons ago on the chase for the Stanley Cup? They had that sound bite from John Cooper, right? Eventually, at some point in the series, they're going to choose to lose. And I think if you shut them out for the first period, Game 6 back home, that's what's going to happen. They're going to choose to lose. They're going to mentally decide, okay, we're still not as good as the champions. And that's as good as deciding to lose. As soon as you finally believe that and you allow yourself to believe that instead of saying we're as good as them, as soon as you say, man, there's just a little bit better, that's a wrap. And I think if they do that, that's what we're going to see.
James, what's your 3 stars from tonight?
I'm going to go Vazzy because I think, he, again, just another phenomenal performance. God, I mean, this guy is just so good. He's just so good. I mean, I know we talk about it at nausea about how great he is, but he is just next level when it comes to really getting into it. The first 2 games, yes, he struggled, and you know what? That happens. With goalies, it's a little bit tougher with rest. But man, this goalie is just playing at such a high level. Sergachev, of course, I think gets the second star. By the way, all those Sergachev haters out there are awfully quiet tonight. I don't know where they're at. They're probably hiding. All you Sergachev haters out there that I've
No,
seen
me
on
and
your,
Stash
on the
are
little
still
Twitter
here.
machine that you go on. You know, bunch of haters, but good for Sergachev to kind of get through that. And then I'm going to give the third star to Steven Stamkos, and mainly because it's for the Fight Club performance he put on at the end of the game. That was unbelievable to see the captain just throwing haymakers, man. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I love the passion this team has. I love the fire, the motivation. And you know what? You made a great point. Game 6, it's time to just put the dagger in it and just end it. You don't want Game 7. You know, not that I don't think the Lightning could win Game 7, because now they've shown they can win at Madison Square Garden. But Game 7, you just never know. It just has this way of throwing a wrench in anything that you can do. So, Vazzy 1, Sergachev 2, and Stamkos 3 stars in the game.
There you go. As Stamkos is making the knockout punch there, I've got on in the background.
Dude, and just to kind of piggyback off that all too, man, you know what? Fuck the Rangers and their fans. I don't want them having a playoff game. They don't deserve it. This guy's leaving. This guy's leaving.
I want them to have Justin Bieber. They deserve the Justin Bieber.
No, he got sick and postponed his tour anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Did he? So I wanted to go over a couple stats that the NHL public relations tweeted out. Vasi now took sole possession of 10th most road wins in Stanley Cup playoff history. The Rangers were 2-2 in the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs when tied after 2 periods. The Lightning were 3-0, make it 4-0.
Yeah.
Andre Palat became the first player in NHL history to score multiple game-winning goals during the final 2 minutes of regulation in a playoff year. Only
you
4
mean
of the
Andre
players.
Moneybags Palat?
Yes, making that money.
Only 4 of the players have done so in the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, pay the man his money.
And then Vasi keeps racking up his playoff wins. The goaltender became the second active netminder to reach 60 career playoff wins, joining only Marc-Andre Fleury, who has 92. And now Vasi did it in 97 days. Patrick Wall, it took him 99 games, sorry. Vasi, it took 97. Grant Fuhr, it took 83. Dryden, 86. So he's in some pretty good company there.
I would say so.
He's got to be up there in the top 2 or 3 already for best playoff performing goalie of all time. Yeah. He's already got to be there, I think.
And definitely Russian.
Waugh, probably, and we should probably do a whole episode on this in the off season. But I think Waugh is probably number 1. His stats in the playoffs were ridiculous. But Vasi's how old? Like, it ain't over.
No.
And he's been a goalie that's been consistent. Like, they can chant all they want. Igor's better, and he is a great young goalie. But you know what? Let's see Igor in 5 years from now. Is he still doing it? Because, not a lot of goalies have that longevity.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make a case for Vazzy just simply off of like what he's been able to do in closeout games. I mean, this man has a .964 save percentage. I think it's like .77 goals allowed in the playoff games that he started. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like, this is a goalie that, and you're right, the consistency is the big thing. You can compare him to the Andre Waz and to the Marty Brodeurs and to these guys who are just like franchise game changers. If you want to build a franchise, Vazzy's your goalie. Like, he's your man, and that has just been absolutely fantastic. But here's the difference though between now and what we saw in the first 2 games. You noticed a lot of Vazzy struggling when the defense in front of him was struggling. The defense, Hedman and Sergachev and all these guys have completely changed how they have played defensively in front of him. And when you take a little bit of the load off of Vazzy, he's able to do more. You notice in the first 2 games, if you go back and watch the tape, if you notice in the first 2 games, Vazzy's a little more in the net. He's not as far out as he normally is because the defense is playing well, so he's having to make up for that. But in these past 3 games that they've won, he is out a little bit further in front of the net because he knows the defense is playing well. So when these guys are really making these adjustments, and Hedman and Sergachev are doing well in front of him, you see a lot more loose play from Vasilevsky, and for him to be able to make big saves. I mean, he made a couple of really good saves tonight on second chances, and it's because the defense in front of him has played so well. It's just like with football with a defense. You know, your defense is only as good as your front four, because if your front four is doing well, then everything behind you is going to do well. So I think that's something to note with how well Vazzy's done. And guys, I know I've been on here longer than I should be, and I'm sorry, but I appreciate it. And last thing I'm going to say, last thing I'll say is this: Vazzy is better than you, and you know it. That's it.
There you go.
End of story.
Hey, can we give you a prize for an excellent call?
Dude, yeah. Duh.
All right, you gotta hit us up on Twitter, or I am on. I know I used to follow each other back with my old account. We won't talk about that. But if you follow at We the Thunder podcast, because you can't message us on Facebook, let us know. We'll send you out a wireless speaker from Malectronics so you can listen to the next game on wirelessly.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Thanks, wirelessly. I appreciate that. Hey, I love the show. I appreciate what you guys do. And by the way, I'm not gonna like shamelessly plug anything I have going on, but
why not?
My friend and I are actually starting an NHL podcast after the preseason. That's another thing we've been working on this summer. It's called The Point, an NHL podcast. And we're talking all things hockey, everything hockey, not just Lightning, but we're talking everything. Going to go through divisions, games of the week, stuff like that. So we'd love to have you guys on sometime to talk overall hockey and talk some Bolts.
So thank you for that. We'll have to check that out. And absolutely yes, because I don't know if anyone has seen us be guests on another show, but it's way better than this show. It's way better than this show because we just don't even. I guess we just don't even care as much, right? we can screw this show up. Yeah. Not that we're gonna screw up your show, James, but absolutely, let us know. But yeah, reach out. We need your address.
If I didn't think y'all are worth it, I wouldn't invite you. So you guys are awesome, and I appreciate all you. And it's all about fun and talking hockey, man. So it'll be great.
All right, we're in. Find a way to message us. We just need your address, but we appreciate it, man. And go Bolts.
Go Bolts.
Yes, sir. Go Bolts. Thank you.
All right, adios. On to, let's see if anyone else, that opens up the phone line. We'll do one more. It's past midnight. It's Friday already. Yeah. We're going to end this show with what I just found, thanks to Bucks, Rays, Bolts YouTube, the go-to for this show. We've got Michigan calling those big saves that I mentioned earlier on Lindgren and also on Fox. So that's how we're going to end this. But we do have some other stuff to give away. Last chance to get your hashtag in, hashtag Sergey, the goal scoring hero tonight, really stepped it up, scoring his first goal in 39 playoff games, getting the assist, I guess, on the second one off Palat's knee. And man,
did you guys see that guy? Have you guys seen this guy that's now suddenly trolling some of these groups, talk about how assists are bullshit and they shouldn't be a thing?
No.
Like how, and that somehow that means that Kucherov is garbage. He's highly overrated because all he does is make assists. He just stands around, doesn't play hockey, lets everyone else do it, and then he scores like these assists are garbage. Like there's
the reason he gets the assist is because he gets all the attention because his shot is too dangerous.
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous, dude.
He usually has 2 to 3 people defending him, so there's
this guy just got eviscerated on social media, on Facebook, and then he's like, "Well, if you want to go to name calling, blah blah, it just shows that you're basic." And I'm like, dude, you you got no leg to stand on, bro.
You
Like,
know,
so you're gonna tell me that a guy that intentionally shoots a puck off of a goalie, creates a rebound chance, and then somebody scores off of that, that's not an intentional assist? That's totally intentional. You're saying Ruda didn't deserve his assist in the last game. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's this, yeah, it was funny. It's in that one group that I don't really like to talk about, pump up, because it's a bunch of idiots.
It would never happen in Thunderbolts, the official
they
group
don't get banned.
of
That
We the
post would
Thunder.
just get deleted and then get kicked out.
But I will say I do like all the other groups that I'm pretty much in every group. Sorry, Thomas Cooley.
I like the
Sorry to break your heart, but I'm in every single Lightning group there is, I think.
Listen, I got this message today from somebody. I won't say who it was. Not that he's ever on the show anyway. And he's like, why are we letting so many Ranger fans in? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't seen any. I mean, we usually go through people's Facebooks. If we can't even find anything Lightning, we kick them out. But I'm like, you do realize we don't get paid to admin these groups, right? And all the admins have a full-time job, so it isn't like we can see every single thing. And he's like, well, this person. And so I look and I'm like, no, that person is a Rangers fan, but they're a reporter for a local newspaper, local TV news, and they're trying to do a story on Lightning fans. That's why they're in the group.
Right.
So calm down. Just because their profile picture is a little Ranger thing doesn't mean they're automatically, because they're definitely not posting in there, let's go Rangers, because they would just get kicked out then. Or some stupid assists don't count, because I would have kicked them out too.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah, because I had to move from my tree in my plant because the guys changing the trash was looking at me all weird. So I'm playing.
I wonder why.
Why?
That's so weird that he'd be looking at you.
Well, no, here's the funny thing: is if you look at me from the bush from the other side, you don't see the laptop. You only see me standing there in the bush, creeping over. And if you can't see the headphone,
rustling.
Right.
All the innuendos is so amazing. The bush brings so much to the show. It's literally the fourth host.
If you come this side, you can see the laptop.
Yeah.
If you come from this side, you do not see.
Just
You only
weird
see
dude
the
in the
bush.
bush.
So
like the security guards there, like he's the bush guy's back.
Right.
Where's the beers
and
at?
we're back to this. We've come full circle, ladies and gentlemen. Let's spin that hashtag counter. Let's see who won the t-shirt. Let's see who gets a
34
pizza.
entries. Let's see. I've we always see the YouTube folks win this for some reason. It seems to like skew to the YouTubers.
Oh no,
but
Aaron.
there you go. Facebook. Aaron Span, if you're still there, shoot us a message. If not, eventually we'll reach out to you. By the way, I have not got Smack anyone's names, I think, for this whole round yet to Robbie over there. So don't worry. We'll send out the shirts. You'll get them. Don't worry. But there you go, Aaron Span. Congratulations. And we've also got a puck. If you can make your way to Palm Harbor, Pucks and Pizza, get yourself a little puck pizza. Hey, while you're there, try the thin crust, try the deep crust. It's all good. Hockey player, hockey fan, We the Thunder listener,
Hockey parents.
Chris runs that shop there. It's not even a shop. It's like kind of like a food truck type of deal, right?
That's permanent there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a non-moving food truck. So you guys got a good comment for that one? I know it's tough.
Go ahead, Stash. I picked the last one. You get this one. Because there are so many there.
Man, he won. I was actually gonna pick his comment. Actually, that's funny.
Hey, Chris, message me your address. We'll send you my electronic speaker too. Because that one was probably one of the better ones. Now you know how Publix is when they put out their checkout light. And he can never win. He can never win these pizzas because they're from him.
He's probably had enough pizza.
Let's go, Christopher Cole, for the pizza. Gave the Rangers fans a big middle finger, and I loved it because they were walking out with sad face. Jimmy Fallon supposedly crushed a hot dog and a beer. All he did was stuff a hot dog in his mouth and then pour beer all over himself. There's nowhere he could have chugged that. He pulled old Stone Cold. where you just get like really frothy and pretend to chug it, but like maybe 3 ounces of beer actually gets in your mouth total. Yeah, Christopher Cole, get with us. There you go. Little puck pizza.
All right. Let's wrap this puppy up. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you go join Thunderbolt. Make sure you follow Shooter in the Stash. We will be back Saturday night, maybe from District Tavern, maybe in the bush. Well, Thomas will definitely be in the bush. We don't know yet, but we'll be here after the game. We will have our drinks on ice because we toast when the Lightning win a playoff round, and we are one game away from going back.
Mine will be neat. Mine will be neat, but whatever. You guys do you. You guys do you. Mine will be neat, but that's fine. That's fine. What a great game. What a great game statement from our guys. Game 5. Coming home with control, coming home with momentum, coming home with bruised knuckles, but fat egos, and they should be feeling really good right now after that performance and gutting that out, and not letting those 2 or 3 really those posters really affect them. Other teams in this situation might have let that get to them mentally, and you didn't see it's like the Lightning, just like they might as well have missed the net. You know what I mean? So it was really good to see the Lightning just keep playing their game all the way through. Gave up that first goal. There was no change in the way they played their game, no way in the way they had their mentality, and then they got better. I would say there was a change; they got better. But anyways, that being said, I'm ready for game 6 on Saturday. I know we all are ready to close it out.
Schoolie, any final thoughts?
Let's get out of here. My laptop's about to die. Go Bolts. We win it in 7.
Let's do it.
6. We went in 6. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say 7. Let's do 6.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna roll out here with 2 back-to-back huge saves by the Big Cat, called by your hometown radio hero, Dave Mishkin. Let's see it, Vassy.
Here it is for you guys. Enjoy.
Thanks to the block party, we get him saying, "Here it is."
Here it is.
Across the blind left circle. Put it to Fox left circle. Fox holds. Fox dangerous here. Fox shoots. Went short side, just wide right. Rebound, Vasilevsky made a save on a wraparound attempt from Lindgren, who was behind the net. What a save he just made. Saved a goal for sure. Fox's shot, he went high blocker and missed, but it came behind the net. Lindgren looked like he had an open net on the wraparound. But Vasilevsky got over and knocked the puck away.
That is one flexible big dude. Hey, until next time, this has been We the Thunder. Don't forget to be the Thunder.
That's it?
That's it.
Game 6.